What's going on? It's your main man, Rick the Dawn. And I know what you're here for. Let's talk about BB. Let's talk about what's going to happen this Sunday. It's a lot to unpack here. And before I do that, I want to say thank you to the amazing people that continue to show love to the channel, like the videos, subscribe, all that. It doesn't go unnoticed because, let's face it, I'm a small channel, so I see everything, all right, whether I want to or not. This episode is brought to you by my Really Hood or by the Really Hood podcast. That's my podcast, available everywhere. Also, this episode is sponsored by brokenheartshirts.com. That is my t-shirt clothing business. Go check it out. It is free to browse. Now let's jump into it because I ain't here to play no games. So as you know, at the end of Thursday's episode, Julie just kind of riddles off a ton of like I want to call them spoilers, but it wasn't a spoiler because it was live. But the point is, she riddles off a ton of things that's going on, that's happening. That being the BB twist, where it's going to be two games taking place at once. Thursday being a double eviction night, 2-hour episode where there will be basically two versions of the game happening at once. Like, crap, what the heck? And also we get a chance to take a look at the HOH competition, in which Julie proudly announces that if you want to see who actually wins the HOH competition, you can tune in Sunday or watch the live feeds, which is the new thing now. I'm old school. I'm an old school player. I don't watch the live feeds, so you all will all know what's going on. But that doesn't stop me from speculating. And even if you know by now who the HOH is because you watch the live feeds, you can still watch this video and get a kick out of it and watch me be wrong. Here it is. So this is an endurance competition. And maybe a few days ago, my last episode batch, I talked about who I thought would win. And the people I named were Kyle, Taylor, and Brittany. And that is before I found out that this was an endurance competition. I picked those three players based on the timing of the game, not really understanding what the new competition might be. So I only want to make one adjustment because I think I'm doing adjustment because this is a whole new episode, right? I'm doing adjustment. So I'm going to say that I'm going to keep Kyle the same. I'm going to keep Taylor the same, but the player that I'll swap out for Brittany, I'm going to swap Brittany out, and I'm going to change that pick for Turner. And the reason being, let me give you a little context behind my decisions and why I think these three players might actually have a shot to win this HOH. Taylor being slender built, and this competition, you're going to be on the wall. Tons of things are going to be flying at you, all these goop and all these type of things like that. And the wall will start to lean forward, and you will have to support your weight. Taylor being very slim, and it's really surprising because this last episode, I saw her eat a ton of Lay's potato chips, and I'm not even sure how she's able to maintain the figure that she has because she ate so many chips. I mean, I'm talking about bags upon bags upon bags of potato chips around her lap. But anyway, I still think that she has a great shot to win this competition because of that slender build. And I would imagine that she'll be able to hold herself up. I don't see Terrence doing well because at some point, this wall, though it doesn't go a whole 180 degrees or anything of that nature, it still goes over pretty, a pretty significant amount. So I don't see players like Brittany or Terrence really surviving, or Indy. I'm not sure. Okay. So I'm going to go with Taylor, Kyle, Turner. Taylor for those reasons I just named. Now, Kyle is a very interesting situation because he is in a showman's. Oh, wait a minute. We find out that the showman's is on thin ice, but let's be real. Kyle is not going to give up that showman's so easily. I think that this last week that passed with the whole Daniel, the whole Monty drama, I think that he had to say what he said. I'm not sure if he actually believes in it yet. And the reason I know that it's not solidified or final is because Alyssa actually votes with the popular side of the house, which tells me that Alyssa still is holding out for Kyle. I mean, she didn't like him. She really wanted to send him a message. She would have sent a vote his way. That did not happen, and I think it was a good reason why that did not happen. So I'm going to just go ahead and say confidently that Alyssa and Kyle have some more thread there. I'm not sure it's over. And we know what happens every season. One half of a showman's wins a competition, and I think at this point, we're about due for that to happen. It hasn't happened yet. I'm going to say that Kyle's going to win, or he could win this endurance competition, and we should hear the classic line, well, since Kyle won, I'm safe, from Alyssa. I'm expecting that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that I swapped Brittany out because Brittany hasn't shown me enough yet. And she was tied to Michael, but for me, I haven't seen enough from her as of this moment. So I'm not ready to put my chips on Brittany at this time. But I will say that Turner is a really interesting player for an endurance challenge. He's small. He's compact. I think that he might have the tenacity, enough tenacity to hang on to the wall. And that is why I'm swapping Brittany for Turner. Look, I could be wrong, but that is who I'm picking, okay? If you watch the HOH competition, you know, you're watching this video afterwards. If Taylor, Kyle, or Turner has won, you owe me a like because I gave you a sport. I'll let you know what's going to happen. Okay, you got to give me a like for that. That's a great prediction because I'm not going to watch the live feeds. The next time I find out that who the HOH is, it should be on Sunday. Now I am in a lot of Facebook groups, Big Brother Facebook groups. Sometimes spoilers just punch me in the eye, so it could happen. But I want to talk about a little more than that. I'm going to pick who I believe will actually win between those three picks. Those are my three probables. But I think of those three probables, I'm going to put all my chips on Kyle. I think Kyle has a lot to prove. I think he's tired of hearing Michael's name, Monty's name, and dare I say, I think Kyle perceives himself to be a Michael or Monty kind of player, caliber player, and he's just not getting the respect because he's not getting the wins. And I think he's going to take that personal. And believe it or not, I would argue that Kyle is ready to take a shot at the leftovers. He has a small army in Alyssa, who's attached to Indy, and of course, Terrence is a free agent. So I think he has, he has a little ammo, a little firepower. He can shoot at the leftovers if he so choose to. And I'm going to say that he might be one of the players outside of Michael who's considering something of that caliber. But anyway, I think Kyle will win the HOH competition that's taking place probably right now if it's not over. And then on Sunday, I believe his two nominations will be Terrence and Indy. All right, that's just my guess based on the house. I don't see him putting up Alyssa. I don't see Kyle putting up a member of the Leftovers Alliance yet. If he's going to do anything in terms of taking a shot at the leftovers, I believe it will be a backdoor plan. I'm not sure Kyle will go face up with the leftovers, especially right now. I just think it's too soon. So my guess is that he would actually do some of Taylor's work and put Terrence and Indy on the block. I don't think Jasmine goes on the block. If you ask me, Jasmine is slightly creeping up the America's favorite ladder a little bit. Not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but I like to be unbiased. And I think her little catchphrases are starting to catch on. They were really annoying at one point, but now even I'm starting to get warmed up to them. So the accent, I think Jasmine might not be, and then she's injured. I don't think Kyle takes that shot at Jasmine. So my best opinions at this point, given what I know about the game right now, I believe that Terrence and Indy go on the block. And ultimately, I believe that Terrence goes home. So that is my full rundown right there. And it's very confusing because, as you know, we have the HOH competition right now, which will be revealed on Sunday. The nominations will be revealed on Sunday. Wednesday will be the veto, and then Thursday will be the elimination. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this. How are you going to cram a eviction and then a double eviction in one episode? I mean, that's why next Thursday's episode is going to be 2 hours, I'm assuming, because they have a lot to cram in. But, I mean, God bless them, because that's a lot to put into one series. And I can't wait to talk about this whole new twist that's taking place on Thursday. In fact, that is one of my episodes tonight. I've already done 2 episodes. I have a plan to do 3 more, and that will be one of them. So I'm going to stop here because I don't want to go into those episodes until I'm ready to really focus on those. But I will say that as a recap, HOH, I believe Taylor, Turner, and Kyle win. I think Kyle win. I think those are the 3 probables. And I think Kyle wins and puts up Terrence and Indy and then takes Terrence out without getting too much blood on his hands. Hey, I would love to know who are your picks to win the HOH before you find out. Don't look at the live feeds and then find out and come back and say, all right. No, before we find out who wins, who are your top 3 to actually win the HOH and who do they nominate? That's another second question for you. But hang tight. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thank you for tuning in with your main man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for kicking it with your main man, Rick. That's why it's live, man. It's live. I don't even care. But yeah, that's what it is. And I will see you in about 5 minutes. Peace.